All right, so we are back, and you are tuned into Managing Midlife with your host, Dr. Patty. And tonight we're talking about how to avoid a holiday meltdown. How to avoid a holiday meltdown. The first thing that I want to even off the cuff talk about tonight is dealing with holiday travel. I traveled for Thanksgiving, and let me tell you, the traffic that was on the road during Thanksgiving, just from the Northeast corridor down to the Southeast corridor, was unbelievable and literally just gridlock, stressful, even in trying to get out to make an early start on the road and beat all the traffic out there. It was still just almost an impossible feat with our best efforts for a number of reasons. But I do want to say to you this, because I got caught short during the Thanksgiving holiday. If you're going to drive your car, I suggest you make sure you take the car to the mechanic and get it checked, or get your oil changed, or check those tires, or, do some of those things. Don't just jump in the car and go, especially if you're traveling a significant amount of distance, because the worst thing in the world for you or for anybody is to be broke down on the side of the road while you're trying to get to someone during the holidays. And especially for those folks who, don't have an emergency fund, haven't really planned for that, and now you find yourself out there stuck on the road with car repairs that you weren't anticipating during the holiday season, and now you got to make some hard choices. You want to try to do your best to anticipate and pre-plan in advance. So, first and foremost, the average American is going to spend 7 hours getting somewhere for the holidays. At least that's what a new survey by SC Johnson says. And so just be prepared that you are likely going to encounter traffic. Okay? And you're going to probably encounter rude people. Delays are going to happen. There was approximately 47 million people out on the road for Thanksgiving this year, making it the busiest driving holiday in 8 years, and that was according to AAA. And more of the same is going to be expected during Christmas time. And most of it is being fueled by a healthy economy. People got more money and low gas prices. Prices of gas have been the lowest I've ever seen in, probably 30-something years, since I was a little kid. In some states, gas can be as low as $2, $2.50. In other states, it is under $2. I've seen $1.50, $1.75 a gallon for gas. Unprecedented. And so, yes, obviously people are getting in their cars. If they had Suburbans and Cadillac Escalades that were parked, honey, those living rooms, Navigators are on the road, and people are riding in style. So, 47 million people took the highways for Thanksgiving this year, and you can anticipate more of that for Christmas. And then the skies are going to be crowded as well. So you can anticipate the airports are going to be crowded too. 45 million people are predicted to fly during the 19-day period just before Christmas until after New Year's. And so we are almost just approaching that time period now. And that's going to be up as well. So here are some things that I want you to consider during your hours of travel, whether it be in a car, whether it be on a bus, whether it be on a plane, whether it be on a train. First and foremost, and I tell my kids this, pack early. Pack early. And pack light is what USA Today says. Now, Sister Girl got another theory about packing light, because I tell my children, pack and be prepared just in case you got to stay extra time, an extra day or two. Now, there's nothing that a washing machine cannot handle in most places that you may be traveling to, unless you're in a different country. You should be able to get to a washing machine and dryer, get to a laundromat, or if you're at somebody's house, where they have those facilities available. There's never enough room for your luggage, no matter which mode of transportation you choose. If you go in the car, well, it's limited space. If you go on the bus, they only allow you 2 bags. If you go on a plane, depending on who you fly, you may get 2 bags for free. You may have to pay for your bags. And so, we're going to help you get a little experience here. Dr. Patty going to help you get a little experience, because inexperienced travelers tend to overpack, and then you trying to wait till the last minute to pack everything into your carry-on. So don't be that person, okay? Rushing around packing the night before you are already anxious is going to create stress, boo-boo, okay? That's going to create stress. Now, if you are traveling with those little ones, those children, those babies, and all y'all people out there on the airlines and on the buses and on the trains that don't have children and don't understand, children do make noise. Children cannot sit around for 2, 3, 4, 10 hours like adults can and be quiet and read a book. They are active. They must be about. So, parents, leaving early or later to avoid the rush of cars remains the best advice for those of you who are going to be on the road. And whatever little family traditions that you have, mothers and dads, or grandma and grandpa, y'all know your family best. Y'all know your children best. Whether it's blowing bubbles, whether it's games, whether it's toys, whether it's coloring books, whether it's CDs. And if you're privileged enough to have a car that you have a DVD in it, put them DVDs in. The children love to watch DVDs. And that also takes away from them being so worried about what time is it, what time is it, what time is it, are we there yet, are we there yet, are we there yet. As long as you got some food for them to eat and some videos or something to entertain their mind, or video games, the children gonna be set. Say a prayer. Whoever you praying to, say a prayer. Because guess what? The airport is gonna be off the hook. If you are flying out anytime, Christmas Eve, the eve of the eve, guess what? Traffic is going to be busy. And if the baggage claim people go on strike, you're going to be in a sorry situation. So I say plan to take all your necessary stuff on all the needed things that you have on a small carry-on bag. I have worked in the hospitality business and found that a lot of distressed passengers, their luggage goes one way or don't go with them, or it goes on front of them, and they don't have the necessary things. So this is what I suggest you put in your little carry-on. Ladies, put them little feminine hygiene things in there. Yes, put that in there. Put your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your deodorant. Please make sure you have your deodorant, because don't nobody like sitting next to nobody riding in tight quarters next to a funk box. And I'm going to say that nobody wants to sit next to a funk box. So please pack your deodorant. Those are necessary things. Take an extra pair of underclothes, put them in there. If you can roll up some slinky wear that don't wrinkle, put it in there and carry it with you on your carry-on, and have something for the children as well. A lot of stuff is just common sense in terms of what to do. And listen, if you need to find some time for some woosah, some bring it in, some meditation on whatever it may be, find you a quiet space so that you will be able to do that. You'll be able to do that. Breathe. That's the next thing. Breathe. There's nothing you can do about the flight being delayed. So going off is not going to make the flight reappear. There's nothing you can do if there is an accident on the road and traffic is stopped. There's nothing you can do about that. If you're already prepared for those things and managing your expectations about what to think that's going to be out there for you, nothing will shock you. Nothing will surprise you, and then you don't have to be arguing with your partner, your husband, or your wife, or your children, or doing whatever, because you've already prepared yourself. So, if you're flying, here's a little bit of practical advice. Print your boarding pass and make sure your flight is leaving on time. And you need to check that frequently. Don't just automatically think it's all good and get to the airport and you find out there's a 4-hour delay. You need to check before you leave the house. You need to check after you leave the house. You need to check en route to the airport to make sure your flight is going to be on time. Okay? Too many inexperienced travelers don't even bother. They forget. Okay? So, and don't forget to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Roll your shoulders. Y'all know how to do the roll your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back. Do all of that. Yeah, get in the groove with it. Lean with it. Rock with it. Okay? Because if you don't do something, you gonna be in meltdown mode. And Dr. Patty is trying to help you to avoid that. Out is in. Staying with family. Woo! Child, staying with family can amp up your stress level. Now, those of you who are fortunate enough to have money to, stay at a hotel or a bed and breakfast or some kind of place like that, that's nearby to your relatives and loved ones, may be a good thing to do. Especially if, you have your space and how you flow, and then now you in somebody else's space and how they flow, and you don't get with how they flow, or, maybe they got other stuff going on in the house. They got the band coming over to practice, or maybe they don't have no air conditioning in the summer, or, maybe their heat is, not the exactly kind of heat you was looking for. We around the fireplace getting heat, and we wrapping up in blankets for the night. If that ain't your thing, if you can only take showers, everybody got to get their shower in at a certain time, because after that, ain't no hot water, you may want to reconsider staying with your family. And I am telling you this, I am a living example. I'm telling you this from experience. Things I know, things I've done, things I've seen, things that I have heard. It's nothing worse than getting through the hustle and bustle of traffic, and then in the airport and the airlines and the delays and everything. Then you get somewhere where you going and they say, oh, well, we ain't got no hot water, or the boiler's broke, or, we got to sit by the fireplace. Everybody sleep by the fireplace tonight, or, whatever. So just be prepared. Now, take care of yourself. Self-care is always going to be of the utmost importance. The best way to cope with holiday stress is to be mindful of your behavior. So, don't indulge in drinking at the airport and doing all this stuff, and then now you kind of all zoned out. If you're driving and the road tends to get to you, take a break. Pull over to the rest stop, especially when you're driving long distances. If you're on an extra long flight, get up and stretch. These are all practical things that you can do to take care of yourself. If you treat yourself well, it's going to be easier to treat those around you well. When that thing happens, you won't be so moved by it. You'll be able to continue reading your book, listen to your music, or whatever the case may be. I think a lot of the stress and meltdown from the holiday comes from people having unreasonable expectations. And that's part of the issue. When you manage the expectation, then the situation and the propensity for a meltdown becomes less. When you go to the stores, don't go to the store expecting they're going to be empty. You go to the stores expecting there's going to be lines. So you either go to the store when they first open, or real late at night if they have extended hours, when there may not be as many people during those peak time shopping hours. Those are the types of things that you do to mitigate and to manage your holiday stress experience while you're traveling. So, lastly, and we're going to go to a break, how to behave on your holiday trip. First of all, be nice. Put a smile on your face. Be nice. Everyone is trying to get to someone. Everyone is trying to see their loved ones and enjoy the holidays. And so kindness will always prevail over rudeness. No yelling. No yelling. Listen to this. A recent poll of travelers by Homewood Suites and Home2 Suites found 1/3 of respondents admitted to yelling at a total stranger when traveling. Please don't be that person to be yelling, because you're going to get yelled at back. Raised voices just ruin everybody's holiday trip. And we don't need all of that stress and aggravation, especially if you already at the ceiling with it. And so yelling and screaming ain't going to do nothing but cause a what? Meltdown. Sure enough, meltdown. So we don't want that. No yelling. Remember the 4-second rule. If you find yourself getting annoyed and frustrated by a situation, close your eyes and wait 4 seconds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you a 10 count person, count to 10. I'm a 10 count person because I need to get, it takes me 10 seconds to kind of bring it in. 4 will not be enough. And remember, if you try to manage your expectations, the holiday travel will look very, very different for you. If you listen to the media and they get you all hyped up, then you will jump out there with all the rest of the hyped up people and everybody will be hyped. And that means road rage, cutting people off, driving ridiculous, pushing and shoving. Listen, I don't rush no more for nothing. If it's traffic, it's traffic. I don't push to get in the line and run for the line if you're trying to get through security, because guess what? You're going to get to through security anyway, a traffic check or whatever the check is when you go to the airport. You're going to get through that anyway. So set yourself up to be successful during the holiday season. Give yourself ample amount of time when you're trying to travel so that you know kind of what it's going to be, especially if you're going into the airports and you're trying to get through security check. Just know it's going to be lines and expect that. And if you manage your expectation, you will do just fine.